stop pulling yourself in two different directions, which I also get here with the Chariot. But the overall being the Tower. Now, like I've always said with this one, it doesn't necessarily have to be like some shocking event that happens. It could be that you realize that things need to change drastically and immediately. But I look at this and I think this has to happen. I worry a little bit with the Five of Pentacles, but this to me, especially with the Queen of Swords as your best path to follow, is just saying, I feel like don't give in, don't give in. But then I also feel like for a lot of you, you're just cutting through the bullshit now and realizing that, drastic change has to happen. Now, with the Ten of Pentacles as the past coming through, this clearly was something that, you felt secure with. But with the Tower, that's major, like major change. And again, I go to home, and then with the Chariot, like an actual move. But with the Ten of Pentacles, feeling overall secure with something here. But with the Tower, it's no more. Like it is no more. It's no longer bringing you security. But it could be because of something that is being kept hidden with the Seven of Swords. But with the connection to the Two of Pentacles, to me, it's like if you're dealing with a deception, how flexible are you willing to be in continuing to manage this or deal with it or try to balance it out, right? Now, definitely it could be that for some of you, you're not talking about what you are planning and what you are doing. And with the Tower, it's like, boom, you're doing it. It's done. But I look at the Two of Pentacles and I think, yeah, definitely with the Pentacles showing up, it could be needing to manage out money to do something here. I look at this connection and I think if you're dealing with somebody withholding something from you, why are you continuing to balance that situation out? Because then you move into the world. And with the world in future conditions, that's great because you get closure on this, and there's no longer a need to continue to like balance the situation out, right? But it's also about you needing to take the next steps here to get to, the major completion here and the closure that you're looking for. Now, like I said, with the Queen of Swords, I think it's just you're done. You're done dealing with this. It's like instead of allowing yourself to feel anything around it, it's like you're shutting yourself off, but you're being smart, right? You're being smart about this. It's like you've become wise to what is going on in your environment and understanding that shit's got to change, like big time. With the Eight of Swords in your environment, though, that worries me a little bit as far as you feeling like you're stuck with something, fearing being stuck with a situation. And then again, I go back to the Chariot at the bottom and think needing to go, needing to move now, and stop pulling yourself in two different ways. But I also feel like there's a need for you to kind of shut it out. Like if you're dealing with this in your environment, I look at her and I think, no. Right? Not being like the Queen of Cups almost. The advice here is to, no, I'm not letting this in. I'm not going to be flexible anymore. If I'm going to continue to deal with, somebody who is not being honest. I almost see this as, but I think that you've tried to like manage this for a while, because of the overall security and stability from the past coming through, but it's like, no more right now with the Five of Pentacles coming out on this though, I feel like definitely for some of you, it's needing to reject a person or a situation here so that you're no longer feeling like you are being left out, being lied to, being, cast aside, right? Being on the outside looking in, and with the world, it's an opportunity to get closure. Now, on the other hand, I look at this and I think if we're talking about a major move, it may like drain you financially, but I feel like it has to happen. Like it has to happen. And then the Six of Wands. And I like it because even though, things are difficult here coming out, whether we're talking about financially or feeling rejected or having to reject something or someone, with the Six of Wands coming out, and then the Chariot, right? victory, getting victory over this. Now, with the Four of Swords, I see this as, the inability to act because of it being connected here, right? And not wanting to have to deal with, whatever strain is happening here with the Five of Pentacles due to everything changing drastically, right? Because there's a level of security and not wanting to change that. But then I also feel like it's you like wanting to try to call a truce to the deception that's going on. Now, with the Hierophant, I kind of get that the reason why some of you were willing to try to manage a situation out is because, I look at the Hierophant and beyond it being about you, I look at this and think, there's a certain way of doing things. Now, definitely, if there's a commitment there, then it would make sense that you're trying to be flexible, wanting to call a truce, and it's not so much that, you feel like you need to make things work, but you're still like in this balancing act here. But then I also feel like here that for some of you, especially with the Tower, right, it's learning. It's not that you had a lesson to learn, because I think that that's bullshit. I think that, you've learned through all the difficult changes that you've been through, but then there's that higher understanding, right? Being more grounded. I don't think it's about you being stubborn by any means. Now, with the Six of Wands, especially with the World being there, I see this as you getting victory over this. I don't see this as like negative attention here. I feel like if anything, there's going to be like that positive recognition for you doing what needs to be done here with the Tower, which makes me wonder if you don't get like assistance coming through. It's weird because between the two of them, it has like a Six of Pentacles type of feel. But it's like, regardless, once it's done and over with the World being there, like, you're good, you're golden, right? This chapter is over with. It's not something that, you're going to have to go through again. But whatever it is that you're dealing with right now, with the Seven of Swords being in your environment and talking about deception, and with the Two of Pentacles, right, possibly dealing with somebody who is like wanting something from you. I go back to the Tower and I think it's you finally realizing that the shit's got to be done. It's done and over with now. You can't continue to build on something that's just false, with the Tower, obviously. But I do worry about the Eight of Swords and you looking at it like you're stuck. You're stuck continuing to have to manage this shit out and be flexible, but it's done now with the World. As long as you take the next steps to complete this out and get this closure, regardless of, what difficult changes you may have to go through. And it could be the ending of a situation here and you being like strapped financially because of it. But like, it has to happen. Rather than having this energy in your environment of somebody taking from you, lying and being deceptive, I feel like you have to shut it out now. You have to be cold and say no more. I can't do this anymore. You may hurt a little bit at the end, but I still look at that Six of Wands and I think it's better for you in the long run, especially with the World being there. All right, guys, let's take a look at what is going on in love for you. The Ten of Wands. I don't know. When I look at the Ten of Wands, I think, this is wanting to release a burden, right? Now, worth waiting for could be saying that, you might not have to do this anymore, right? Like, because I look at this and I think of somebody who is just looking to release a burden with somebody. It's not really long-term, right? It's just what it is and it's over with. Now, on the other hand, with worth waiting for, it could be that, the right person is going to come through and release all those burdens for you, and you get to go back to that Ace of Wands, right? The Page of Wands. I like this because this is basically saying that between the two of these, it doesn't need to be serious, right? It's needing to get back to a place where there's that lighthearted energy, and definitely here, passion and excitement, having a little bit of fun. And having a new feeling brought back into the relationship. It's not bad. So for those of you who are happy in a relationship, that looks great to me. But I worry about those of you who are single. Like, don't look for situations where it's not long term, I think would be the best way to put it, because go back to this feeling of I just need to do this to relieve whatever, pressure is on you, right? But it's not really the best thing for you, right? Because the right person is worth waiting for, basically. But not bad, Taurus. But like I said, there is something going on in your environment right now. And looking at the Queen of Swords with the Tower, it's like drastically no. Big time no. Everything is done with and over with. You're getting to that conclusion. But then I also feel like you need to shut yourself off, shut your feelings off, instead of allowing somebody to continue to take from you, because I don't like this in your environment and you being flexible and trying to like manage it and figure it out. But all right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I love you guys. Let me look at the comments here real quick. Let me go back to the top. Oh, thanks, Drew. Yeah, last week was a little bit difficult as far as, health and then dealing with the boys and getting them ready for graduation. But I am getting a little bit better. I'm not taking the Eliquis anymore. I decided to just stop. They told me in August I can stop, but I feel like I traded one set of, side effects for another. So I don't think any one of them is better than the other one. It actually caused me more problems, just in a different way. But thank you, guys.